So being here in the Grand Canyon has gotten me thinking a lot about Arizona, the desert, and then that got me thinking about a friend of mine who is Navajo, who taught me how to make Navajo Tacos, which are really, really good. Right now I'm going to finish up the salsa that I started making last night. We've got the blackened part of the tomatoes. We blackened them on the grill. You saw that last night. We chilled them overnight. So now what I'm going to do is just put them in to the food processor. And I like to keep some tomatoes aside for chunks in the salsa. So we'll puree part of it and we'll keep some of it out for texture. This salsa has Roma Tomatoes, Tomatillos, Jalapenos, some onion. I'm using red onion. They're a little bit more of a mild tasting onion. And I've got a tiny little food processor to go with the tiny little kitchen, so I might have to do this in a few batches. Alright, so I'm going to do, I did about, what is that? 4.5 Roma tomatoes, probably 1.5 of the tomatillos, these guys here. Now these are a little bit tart, so they add a little bit more acidity to the salsa. So you don't want to have too many of these in there because it'll be too tangy. Unless you like them, then by all means, throw more in. And I've got my blackened onion here and the jalapeno for some spice. And the jalapeno, the seeds are the spiciest part, so depending on how hot you like it, you may want to add more or less. That's all up to you. Let's add a little bit more. We like it hot. Okay, now we've got a nice salsa-ish consistency here. You can see the little black flakes, the little green from the jalapeno and the tomatillo. And now I'm going to add the cilantro. I don't add it right away because then it pulverizes it. So I'm just going to toss in some cilantro. Throw a little bit more salt and pepper. We're just going to try to mix it, incorporate it up. So we don't want to pulverize that cilantro.
Woo! Oh yeah.
You like that? Spicy. Alright, so get my pan heated a bit. Toss in a tiny bit of olive oil. Saute up some onion. Again, a little salt and pepper. Once you get to a little bit of a sizzle factor, you can go ahead and start getting your meat in there. Okay, so now we've got a nice brown, consistent color. Get the onions all in there. I like the purple onions. Now this meat here has quite a bit of fat, so I'm going to go ahead and just pour it into the strainer. You also don't want your meat to be too wet because you don't want it to make your tacos all mushy. Okay, back in your pan. And this can just kind of hang out on the burner until you're ready to use it. Next up, fry bread. This is what separates Navajo tacos from regular tacos. My roommate was or still is, I just haven't seen him in a while. Half Navajo, half Mexican. So this recipe could possibly be a fusion, but the most important ingredient is Indian fry bread. And to make Indian fry bread, you make a simple dough, flour, water, a little bit of baking powder, some salt and pepper, and then they use lard. Well, I use vegetable shortening. And once you have a dough, you want to take a dough ball, you know, about the size of a small egg, and start flattening it out, kind of like a tiny little pizza crust. And you'll see the ladies doing this with it until it's nice and flat. And I've already got some over here for you to see. So we're going to heat the oil. You want to make sure that your oil is nice and hot. I'm using regular vegetable oil. You can use peanut oil, soybean oil, canola oil, or the traditional lard, which is not the healthiest choice, but my gosh, is it good that way. But we're trying to stay fairly healthy here. So his name was Junior. He would make these Navajo tacos for us, and it was always such a treat. I'd hear this coming from the kitchen, and I would know that it was Navajo taco night. So being here in the Grand Canyon, he's from Arizona. Driving up Route 66 reminded me of when we came out here to visit his Navajo reservation. It was quite the trip. When we were on the reservation, we stayed with his grandfather, actually ate dinner in a hogun, which is a separate place from their home that they cook. They cook and they do a lot of their socializing in it. Mud top, stove in the middle, no running water, no electricity. It was definitely an experience. It was fantastic. Before I drop these into the oil, you want to pierce the center a couple of times. Otherwise, it'll turn into a big balloon. Alright, here goes. I like it nice and thin. Pop the bubbles, pop the bubbles. You don't want bubbles. Alright, we've got Indian fry bread. As best as I can do. Not being much Native American myself. Alright, so let's try one out. So I'm going to take a piece of the fry bread. Turn the stove off, Brie. Hello. Spoon in a little bit of the meat. And I was doing a tiny bit of reading in the gift shop and found out that arugula is actually something that they used on the tacos. I don't have arugula, so we're gonna go with the Mexican traditional shredded cheese, lettuce, a little bit of tomato. This is what I saved the onion for. Nice little slice. Running out of room. Hey, we can't all be Paula Deen, you know. And there we've got Indian taco. Okay, I need a taste tester.
Ooh, yeah.
Come on over.
Hey, sweet. Good thing it's a small audience. I get picked a lot.
my dear.
Ooh, what do we got here?
These are Navajo Tacos.
Yeah?
This is a Navajo taco with homemade salsa and chips. I didn't make the chips.
Yeah. Salsa really. Try
They
that.
are. There's a smoked barbecue in there.
Yeah. Real deep flavor. Oh. Oh, this
Where
is
do you
so
start?
good. Yes. Oh my gosh. Mmm. That's good. Oh, that's good. Mm.
I will fatten him up yet.
Mmm.
Alright, so being here in the Grand Canyon has inspired me to try a recipe that I have eaten more than a few times, but never ventured to try myself. Junior did let me help him make fry bread one time, and I actually remembered it. It's been quite a few years.
Mmm. 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 Mmm.
Okay, cut. I'm gonna taste it now.